Hello friends, welcome to Diksha Classroom. In the last few days, we have been discussing the questions from UGC NTA NET examination from 2020 in the months of October, September and November. And today also we are going to discuss some more questions from the topic of higher education which was asked the last NTA NET examination. And move to the first question. So this is the first question. We have to read the question very clearly. The question is, which of the following form part of criteria for assessment of higher education institutions as laid down by National Assessment and Accreditation Council? This is the question. We have to read the question very specifically. Which of the following form part of criteria for assessment of higher education institutions as laid down by National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC. We all know about NAC. NAC means National Assessment and Accreditation Council. We have given 5 options. First one, A, curricular aspects, B, teaching, learning and evaluation, C, continuous improvement in attainment of outcomes, and D, research, innovation and extension, and E, facilities and technical support. Out of these 5, which are the form of criteria for assessment of higher educational institutions as per NAC? This is the question, and we have given option A, B, C only, option B, A, B, D only, option C, C, D, E only, option D, D, E, A only. This is the question. This is a direct question. There is no chance of confusions. So we have to move the answer. If you have know the answer, you can comment the answer below. Let's check the answer. So the answer is A, B, D. So question, which of the following part of criteria for assessment of higher education institutions as laid down by National Assessment Accreditation Council? So the answer is A, curricular aspects, and B, teaching, learning and evaluation, and D, research, innovation and extension. So we have to understand very clearly, out of these 5, these 3 are the form part of criteria, or these 3 are the criteria for assessment of higher education institutions as per NAC. So we have to be understood very clearly. Maybe next time they will be asked like, as per NAC, what are the criteria for assessment of higher educational institutions? So the answer is curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, and research, innovation and extension. And other 2, continuous improvement in attainment of outcomes and facilities of technical support. These 2 are not a form of criteria for assessment. So here we have to be understood very clearly. The curricular aspects, research, innovation and extension, teaching, learning and evaluation are the criteria for assessment of higher educational institutions as per National Assessment Accreditation Council. Others 2 are not the criteria of assessment of higher education as per National Assessment and Accreditation Council. I hope you have understood this question and answer and the concept. We can move to the next question. So the next question is, given below are 2 statements. So in this question we have given 2 statements and we have given 4 options. So we have to read the statement 1 as first. So the statement 1 says, Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system of the university. Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system of the university. And the statement 2 says, the responsibilities of the Board of Studies include planning, coordination and review of the academic program of university. These are the 2 statements, and in the light of above statement, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So we have given 2 statements. We have to be selected the best option out of these 4 options. Option A, both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Option B, both statement 1 and statement 2 are false. Option C, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is false, and option D, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is true. So out of these 4 options, which one is correct regarding the statement 1 and statement 2? So if you have known about the answer, you can comment the answer below, and if you want to more time to answer, you can pause the video and you can comment the answer. So we have to move to check the answer now. So the answer is option C, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is false. So the answer says, or the answer is, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is false. So we have to be checked why the statement 1 become correct and why the statement 2 become incorrect, or why the statement 2 becomes incorrect. So we have to be analyzed this. So first of all, we have to be selected the statement 1. So what the statement 1 says? The statement 1 says Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system of the university. So the statement is very clear. So in this statement, we have to be identified the key terms. So here 3 key terms are there. First one, Board of Studies, and the basic unit, and the academic system of the university. So in this statement, there are some key terms. First one, Board of Studies, and basic unit and academic system of the university. So here we have to be understood very clearly. Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system of the university. We can understand that the statement 1 is true, or the statement 1 is correct, because Board of Studies is the basic unit. It is right. It is basic unit of the academic system of the university. So we all know that Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system of each and every university. So here, if in this statement there is secondary unit instead of basic unit, if there is secondary unit, suppose Board of Studies is the secondary unit of the academic system, means the statement will be false. But here it is clearly given, it is the Board of Studies is the basic unit of the academic system. So we can understand that the statement 1 is correct, or the statement 1 is true. And we have to be checked the statement 2. The statement 2 says the responsibilities of the Board of Studies includes planning, coordination and reviewing of the academic program of university. So we have to read the statement 2 once again. The statement 2 says the responsibilities of the Board of Studies include planning, coordination and review of the academic program of the university. So when we analyze this statement, so this statement is big confusing statement, because we have to know whether planning, coordination and review of the academic program of the university is the responsibility of Board of Studies or not. We have to be known about this. Here the board is Board of Studies, and there is some functions, planning, coordination and review of the academic program. So we have to be understood whether planning is the responsibility of Board of Studies, or whether the coordination of the academic program of the university is a part of responsibilities of Board of Studies, or review of the academic program of the university is the part of the responsibility of the Board of Studies. So we have to be identified very clearly. So it is not the parts of, or it is not the responsibilities of the Board of Studies of a university. So we have to be understand very clearly the planning, coordination and review of the academic program of university are not the responsibilities. So we have to be understood very clearly. Planning, coordination and review of the academic program of the universities are not the responsibilities of the Board of Studies. So maybe next time they will be asked like, what are the responsibilities of Board of Studies? So the responsibilities of the Board of Studies includes framing new courses and reviewing or updating the contents of the courses time to time. So don't forget, I repeat, the framing the contents of new courses and reviewing and updating the contents of existing courses in time to time. Okay, so these are the important responsibilities of the Board of Studies, and not the planning, coordination and review of the academic program of a university. So I hope you have understood this concept and we can move to the next question. So the next question is, which is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education? So the question is very clear, which is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education. So we know that India is a federal country. We have central government and we have state governments, and the responsibilities and the power of the state and central governments are different. And the question is here, which is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education? So in the education field, which one is the highest body to advise central and state governments? So we have given 4 bodies. First one UGC, and second one CABE, and third one NSDA, and fourth one NIEPA. So out of these bodies, which one is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education? If you have known the answer, if you have to know the answer, you can comment the answer below, and we have to be check the answer now. So the answer is CABE. So don't forget, CABE is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education. So don't forget, CABE is the highest body to advise central and state government on education. So in this question, we have to be understood very clearly that CABE is the highest body to advise central and state government on education. And apart from this, we have to be understood for more information regarding this. Maybe the next time they will be asked the question not like this. They may be asked like how does UGC stands for, or they will be asked like CABE stands for, or NSDA stands for, or NIEPA stands for, or the full form of CABE, or full form of NSDA, or full form of NIEPA. Like these questions we can be expected from the next time. Okay, so we have to be understood very clearly. So we all know about the UGC. UGC is nothing. UGC is the University Grants Commission. University Grant Commission. The next time they will be asked like how UGC stands for. So University Grants Commission. And there will be asked like CABE stands for. CABE means Central Advisory Board on Education. So don't forget, CABE means Central Advisory Board on Education. And what is NSDA? So the NSDA means National Skill Development Agency. So don't forget, NSDA stands for National Skill Development Agency, and NIEPA means National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration. So NIEPA means National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration. So maybe next time we can be expected the question like this. So don't forget about this one. And I hope you have understood this concept. And so don't forget, CABE is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education. So we have to be understood very clearly, not the UGC. So the UGC and CABE are interrelated. Maybe at the first time itself, when we see this question, the first time or at the first moment, we will be directly answer the option A, UGC, because we may think like university or the UGC. Sorry, it is not university, but UGC is the highest body. We may think like that, but UGC is not the highest body, but the CABE is the highest body to advise central and state governments on education. And here the next question. So the question says, which of the following is a residential center for free and creative inquiry into the fundamental themes and problems of life and thought? So this is the question. Which of the following is a residential center for free and creative inquiry into the fundamental themes and problems of life and thought? So we have given 4 options. Option A, Dr. Zakir Hussain Memorial College Trust. Option B, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyabit. and option C, Indian Institute of Advanced Study, and option D, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. So out of these four, which one is a residential center for free and creative inquiry into fundamental themes and problems of life and thought? So the question is very clear, and some of you have know the answer, so you can type the answer below. We will be check the answer. So the answer is Indian Institute of Advanced Study. So don't forget, the Indian Institute of Advanced Study is a research institute. So don't forget about this one. This is a research institute for free. Indian Institute of Advanced Study. So maybe the next time they will be asked where is Indian Institute of Advanced Study is locating. So where is the location of Indian Institute of Advanced Study? So don't forget about that one. It is Shimla. In Shimla there is Indian Institute of Advanced Study, and it is a research center for free and creative, and it is promoting creative inquiry into the fundamental themes and problems of life and thought. So don't forget about this Indian Institute of Advanced Study locating in Shimla, and it is a research institute for free, and it provides creative inquiry into the fundamental themes and problems of life and thought. And one more thing we have to be known about Indian Institute of Advanced Study, that is it has set up in 1964. So in the year of 1964, the Indian Institute of Advanced Study has set up, and it is a research center for free, and it is promoting creative inquiry into the fundamental themes and problems of life and thought. So we can move to the next question. The next question is, under GATS, higher education policies are to be framed by which of the following departments? I repeat the question once again. Under GATS, higher education policies are to be framed by which of the following departments? And we have given four options or four departments. So first one is education, and option B, external affairs, and option C, commerce and trade, and option D, urban planning. So we have to know that there are various departments, and there is educational department, and there is external affairs department, and there is department of commerce and trade, and there is department of urban planning. So out of these departments, in which departments included the GATS related to higher education policies? So this is the question. If you have know the answer, you can comment the answer below, or we can move to the answer. So the answer is commerce and trade. So it is a misleading question, and it is we have to be known about very clearly. This question is very misleading, and this question is very tricky question. So there is a large number of chances to become false. When we write the answer, there is a chance to become wrong, because the question is very tricky question. If you don't have enough information regarding GATS, so if you don't have enough information regarding GATS, our answer will be wrong, because when we read the question first time, we can see that higher education policies. Okay, when we read the question first time, we can understand that in this question there is one term, that is higher education policies, and when comes to the option, we can see that there is a department of education. So the question is related to higher education policies, and the options there is education or department of education. So when we see the question first time, we have to be answer very early, like when we see the term higher education policies, we will be selected the option A, education. So it's normal, it's quite normal. When we read the question, higher education policies are to be framed by which of the following departments, naturally or normally we will be selected the option A, department of education. But we have to be understood very clearly, the as per GATS, higher education policies are to be framed by the Department of Commerce and Trade. Okay, so don't forget, we have to be understood very clearly. Under GATS, higher education policies are framed by the Department of Commerce and Trade. Okay, so what is GATS? First of all, maybe next time they will be asked like how the GATS stands for, or what is the full form of GATS. GATS means nothing, General Agreements on Trade in Services. Okay, I repeat, General Agreement on Trade in Services. And there is one another GATT. The spelling of this GATS means GATS, but there is another GATT. Many of the students are studying commerce and management and economics. They may be know about GATT. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. It is related to, you know, that world free trade. This GATT related to free trade. General Agreement of Tariff and General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. It is related to commerce, or it is related to free trade. Removal of tariff barriers like taxes, like that is the fundamental aim of the GATT agreements. And here the question is related to GATS, and we have to be understood very clearly. This both GATT and GATS are part of the WTO, World Trade Organization. So the World Trade Organization. So GATS, this General Agreement on Trade in Services and General Agreement on Trade and Tariff are part of the WTO, World Trade Organization. So this question under GATS, General Agreement on Trade in Services, higher education policies are framed by the Department of Commerce and Trade. You know how the educations or how the higher education policies comes under commerce and trade? Do you ever think like that? Or why or how the higher education policies come under the Department of Commerce and Trade? So when we analyze, we can understand that the higher education, we all know that it is a part of services. And we know that especially in India, our new educational policy, we all know about new educational policy 220. In the last year, we have introduced a new educational policy 220. In new educational policy itself, there is one option, or there is so the new educational policy opens FDI. FDI means foreign direct investment. New educational policies opens foreign direct investment in the field of education. So the people or the companies or the investors from outsiders or from apart from India can come to the India and to start the educational institution. India opens FDI in educational field, because you know in nowadays in the world there is a global village, so each and everyone can go to different countries and different states for learn or for the educational aspects. So it is related to commerce and trade. So the educational institutions and the FDIs, all things are related to commerce and trade. Nowadays education is a commercial property, or the education is treated as commercial commodity. So education is treated as commercial commodity. So it is related to economy of each and every country. So the educational policies, especially higher educational policies, are treated as a commercial commodity, and it affects the policies of the government relates to education, especially the policies of the government related to higher educations will be impacted the economy of the country. That is why the higher education policies comes under the Department of Commerce and Trade. I hope you all understood this concept regarding GATS. So in this video, we have been discussing these questions, and the coming video or the coming lesson, we will be discussing some more questions from higher education topic. Thank you.